Let's grab a bite. I'm not gonna be here before we long. Because Sunday I take a nap. I'm so sorry I haven't made any videos. Life has been lifing. Kicking my behind. So much has happened. So I went to Hawaii. Right. Crazy. One of my good friends got married in Hawaii, and she invited me, and I was like, Hawaii? She told me about it like almost a year ago, before the wedding. I was like, okay, let me see, I don't know. I don't make a lot of money, and I work for a nonprofit. I don't make a lot of money, and on top of that, like, I was like, okay, if I get my bonus, then I'll buy a plane ticket. And plane tickets to Hawaii are so expensive, like hundreds of dollars, like rent money. So by the grace of God, I got my bonus late, but it was on time because that day tickets were like $5.35, which is remarkable. I had never seen them that low. I've been watching tickets for months, never seen them that low. The lowest I had seen was like $6.88. So for it to be that low, I was like, we going. So I got on the phone with my bestie, who I brought to the wedding with me as a +1, and she and I bought our tickets on the phone, and I was like, okay. I was kind of nervous, but I was like, you know, we'll see. And my biggest thing about this trip, because after that was in November 1st or something. After that, my mental health was so bad, my therapist recommended that I take 6 weeks off of work, to 4 to 6 weeks off of work, to recoup. I had been getting some diagnoses from my doctor that were just a lot for me. The whole thing was very triggering. So I was down pretty bad, and she was like, well, you know, you can take some time off. Like, you have some medical things going on, and I really think you should take a breather and, get into a new routine, all of these things, right? So that's what I did. At first it was fine, but like, since after that, it has not been that great financially, because I didn't get paid for that. I only have so much sick time and so much vacation time, and once it's used up, you're pretty much on your own. So yeah, I really felt like I'm so bad at finances. I'm so bad at money. Like, I do not deserve to go on a trip like this. Like, I do not deserve to be happy or be like gallivanting across these United States of America, right? Like, it's a struggle. I am struggling. Like, and reality is I should have gotten another bonus from work by this time, but I didn't get it, and it was just so stressful. And I was like, Lord, like, how am I supposed to do this? Like, I felt like, oh wow, like, this is totally your grace that I was even able to get a plane ticket for this cheap. And at the same time, it's like, I gotta keep gracing to get there. So anyway, I went to Hawaii, and it was phenomenal. I had an amazing time, and the Lord provided a way that I didn't have to really worry about money while I was there, and I'm so grateful. I had a great time, and so I came back, and I'm still kind of like reminiscing in it. I'm trying to learn to like live a life that is representative of like who God called me to be, and not so much who I've always been. So that's an adventure for sure. But Hawaii was so fun. Beautiful place. Very kind people. It was a good time. It really was. I had a great time with my best friend. She's so sweet and precious and gorgeous, and we just did all the things. Now, we didn't do a lot of touristy things like go on a bus tour or go to a luau, but we really just spent time together Went to the beach, ate great food. I'm such a foodie, so that was great for me. The views were phenomenal. I'm gonna have to show y'all some pictures at this point. The views were phenomenal, as you can see here. I looked amazing. There wasn't a day that I did not look amazing. I looked amazing all the days. I got so many compliments. This girl was like, pink is your color. It is. Pink is my color. That's why it's my brand colors now. Which is funny because I worked so hard not to like the color pink because it was so girly, and I don't know. I had this aversion for femininity, and that's what I really came out here to talk about. So I don't know how many of my people can identify with this. If you can, please let me know. I've been big since the 3rd grade. I was gonna say all my life, but that's not true. Since the 3rd grade, I was skinny, and then in the 3rd grade, I started gaining weight. I don't know if I started like eating more, or it was depression, or what I was dealing with. I know I was a very emotional kid. My dad and his mother, very emotional people. I was told so much growing up: stop crying, don't be so sensitive, don't wear your feelings on your sleeve. And and that's something that was drilled into me, and I don't think it was done maliciously. I think as a black woman, as a black girl living in a very small racist town, and just growing up in America in the South, like my mom and my grandmother and my aunt, they just wanted to protect me, and they let me know early on there's no room for you to be soft. Like, you can't be soft in this world. You're gonna have to toughen up, sis. And and that's what they did. They toughened me up. And really, I grew up thinking like all things soft and feminine were just not super acceptable. Like, when I was a kid, like really young, I remember 4th or 3rd grade, I was so girly. And if I can find a picture of me in this princess dress, I will pull it up here, baby. You can tell me nothing on Easter, but I tell you, I had on a ball gown. Girl, why do you have on a hot pink ball gown? This is not your day. But baby, I had on a hot pink ball gown. It had a little lace in the middle. My hair was in box braids. You can tell me nothing, baby. Nothing. I was really that girl my whole life, as a little girl. And I don't know, I feel like growing up, like, once I got fat, people started treating me very differently. And people started talking about my weight. Like, and I was 8. Like, I was a kid. But, like, I remember being treated differently. Like, boys didn't pay attention to me anymore. I was just treated differently. That's all I can say. That was 3rd grade. But also, so the summer after 3rd grade, I had an essay experience, which I didn't even know that that's what that was at the time. I didn't know what that was, that it was essay poly, until I was in therapy, like in 2021. And my therapist was like, that's what that is. I was like, girl, what? So after that, I really felt differently about myself. This boy, he wasn't much older than me, but he told me that I was ugly and I was a beast and that no boy would ever want me. After I rejected his sexual advances, which, why? Anyway, whatever. We're not here to talk about that. So, I really believed that about myself until I was 30 years old. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing else until I was 30 years old. till I was 30, I really believed I was a beast, and then mostly that no boy would ever want me. I believed that men did not want me, and because I believed that, that's what my life manifested. I always was going after boys and men who did not want me, because I had an inherent belief that that was true about me, based on that situation. Or men didn't want me for anything but sex, because I rejected his sexual advances. He was like, nobody's ever gonna want you. So in my 9-year-old brain, that was like, no. So I believed that about myself for decades, 2 decades to be precise, 21 years. And the world around me seemed to confirm that. And so I grew up with this strange relationship with femininity. I mean, I was girly to an extent. I wore dresses. Like, it wasn't like a stud or a tomboy, really. But I guess the idea of being soft and feminine and fragile was just never occurred to me. And because I'm in a larger body, people never treated me that way. One time a boy said that I look like a man, which is crazy because I look nothing like a man. But like, but that's the kind of stuff that boys would say about me and people would say about me. And just even my friends I was with, they always treated me rougher, girls. And, I was the one giving piggyback rides, and I was the one pushing you on the swing, and I was just always took a more masculine role, even in my feminine relationships, because I was in a larger body. And it really, I haven't realized until now, as I'm getting much older, how much it's robbed me of a position and a place of femininity that the Lord is really calling me to. Getting saved didn't help, I would say, because when I was 15, the Lord told me I would be a preacher. And so I've known this, and I'm 3rd generation woman preacher, and I grew up seeing women preach and pastor. So I knew this about myself, and then I was in a ministry that didn't really believe in that. And it seemed to me like what God called me to do, what God made me to be, a preacher, a pastor, a leader in the church, is something that only men did. And so I resented being a woman. Not that, I want to have a sex change or anything, but I was like, God, why did you make me a girl if it was going to be like this? I felt like if I was a man, people would respect me. They would respect the call on my life. I would be able to be trained and discipled according to what God's really called me to do. I never received that because I was a woman. I felt like I could just go out and get married because I'm a girl. I can't just choose who I want to marry. Like, it was just so many things. The misogyny, the misogynoir was just ridiculous, particularly within this organization that really reared me in ministry as far as ministerial leadership. And while I was able to keep up with the boys, like, we had an apologetics class. I was the only girl in there. Like, I knew my stuff theologically. I could preach just like the rest of them. I never, not once, was asked to preach. Like, and I'm amongst my peers. And then, so that also made me really resent being a woman and kind of reject femininity, because I'm being told that it's weakness, that it's not good enough, that it's for the background, when really I know that God has called me to lead. Being told, like, sure, you can preach to women and children. And it's like, not that I don't want to preach to women and children. I love women and I love children. And also, I knew who I was before I came to this ministry. So now you're telling me what God has called me to is biblically incorrect? Question mark? Confusion? So these are things that made me reject femininity, and also never really being pursued by men, being treated softly, being cared for, made me really like feel a certain way. And I think because of that, I exuded this persona that's like, I'm strong, I'm independent, I don't need nobody. And I really like lived that life. But I'm here to make an announcement. I'm done. I'm tired. That's why I'm so tired, bro, because I'm being so many things that I was never called to be. Like, I'm called to preach, I'm called to teach, I'm called to prophesy, I'm called to church leadership. I'm not a dude. And there is a feminine place for me in the call that I have. It has been a work, a job, a chore to relearn all of that messaging, you know? And it's still a work in progress. It really, really is. So that's what I'm currently working through. I ran across this lady who teaches on femininity. Her name is April Mason. I ran across, because I watched this podcast called Hardly Initiated. I don't watch every episode because, Lord, they be long. But I do watch it. Occasionally, it's one of the podcasts that I watch, and she was on there. And I learned a lot. I think that I'm going to go back and watch it and take notes. But I think that there is an aspect of like being a woman that I have despised. And I'm really working in this season for, well, I'm allowing the Lord to heal me in that place, because the truth of the matter is I want to get married. I want to marry a man who's masculine, who loves me, who takes care of me and treats me like the princess that I am. And how can I get to a place where I won't reject that when it comes to me? See, the thing about it is, like, especially now, all these gender wars going on is ridiculous. Especially black women and black men and white men, black men and black women. Like, everyone's just crunk up crazy. At the end of the day, like, I want to marry a black man, so I need to learn how to love a black man, how to respect a black man, and how to receive the love of a black man. I want to be in a position to where I'm not allowing like all of my horrible, terrible, disgusting experiences that I've had with black men like affect me being open to the love I know that God has created for me. I know that there's a man out there for me specifically, and I want to be able to see him when he comes. I want to be able to recognize him. I want to know his scent, and I want to be able to receive and respond to love. And I don't want to wait until he gets here to have to do it. I feel like, of course, there is some aspect of healing that will only take place within a relationship. And also, like, how can I love on, respect, pour into the men around me? You know, people are like, the dating pool is full of pee. Like, I mean, it's pretty bad, TBH. But I'm at the pool. Take me out the pool, lifeguard. Help, help me. No, I don't want to be in it anymore. It's gross. So, the last relationship I was in, I'm learning to take lessons from that. You know, I learned a lot about myself. We made some astounding discoveries, okay? And we're gonna take those and we're gonna run with it. And we're gonna learn from it. And we're gonna grow. And we're not gonna be like, oh, yeah, we're gonna grow. I'm a person, I believe in respect. I believe in hard conversations. I don't believe in pointing fingers. Because at the end of the day, like, it's not about blame. Like, let's stop acting like Adam set a precedent in the garden. when he told God, he said, hey, it's the woman you gave me. She came over here and gave me that fruit. Now, young man, what? Like, but that's what we do. Especially when it comes to a romantic relationship, where I was like, well, you did this and you did this and you did this. And I grew up around domestic violence. I've seen so many people where they just point fingers and they're always attacking and they're always trying to protect and defend themselves. But I really believe that relationships, that marriage is a partnership. Like, what am I fighting you for? We're on the same team. And these are skills I want to be able to develop. And be considering and be mindful of, you know, so that when that happens, I know what I'm doing. Or like, I'm not, whatever, I'm being respectful. Men need to be respected. Like, it's a thing. They feel like they're very, you know, and I try not to be disrespectful. Now, do I have anger problems? Sure. Some would say, you know, some would say I'll get a little peed off. Yeah. You know, fly off the handle, or maybe a little bit. Maybe, you know, throw a can of soup across the room. Not saying I've done that. Not saying I haven't. But I want to be able to communicate effectively even when I'm overly emotional. So that's something that I'm learning. Because like I said, I was tough and I was strong and I never showed my emotions. And so I'm learning how to have emotions, how to regulate them, how to share how I feel with somebody without degrading them, and but still honoring myself. And it's something that I'm trying to navigate as a woman. Like I said, I'm trying to really learn and get my sea legs, so to speak, when it comes to this femininity thing, because I'm a big black woman. I'm dark skinned. People do not treat me like I'm just a girl, and I am. But you know, I was talking to my friend about this, and my friend is beautiful. The girl is 6 foot tall. I'm not lying. She's 6 foot tall. I don't know if she's really 6 foot. She's at least 5'11". The girl's 6 feet tall, and she's big. She's top heavy. She's not, and she makes people treat her like a girl. And I was just talking to her about this. I don't know if she'll watch this, but she was like, you better make them treat you like you're just a girl, because you are. And so that's something I'm gonna do. Also, I'm learning, like, from having like really good men around me, what it's like to be feminine and to be sweet and to be, you know, doted over. Like my spiritual father and, you know, all of my uncles and my bishop, they treat me so sweetly, and I just appreciate that. I have a good friend, a good guy friend, and, you know, he lives far. We don't see each other a lot, but the couple of times I've seen him, when I tell you I didn't lift a finger around this young man, like I did nothing. Like I did nothing. He put gas in my car. He, you know what I'm saying? Like he paid, like, and it's not just about paying, it's about the fact of, like, you're a woman, you should be protected, you should be cared for, you should be, you know, you should be treated and honored as the weaker vessel. Even though you may not be weak, you may not be you may be stronger than me, even in a particular area, but because you're a woman, I'm going to treat you as. And I love that for me. And, you know, being around Pastor V has showed me, like, be treated as. Sit down. It's okay. You'll get it. Listen, let me tell you something about my pastor. Kevin got it. He'll get it. Don't worry about it. Kevin will do it. Y'all don't even worry about doing that. Kevin will. Yeah. Clock it, because that's the life I'm looking for. That's the type of man I'm looking for. And there's the man out there who does that. And you know what? I'm gonna wrap this video up because I've been talking too long. But the thing about it is, you men and you women get on this internet and y'all argue somebody down about 50-50. You argue somebody down, okay, about all of these things that y'all do at home. Y'all be on the internet just and I would never let no man, and he better, all the while you driving on your way to pay that man's phone bill. But sis, you just said, yeah, because when you are with somebody, you love them and you care for them, you're not arguing about 50-50. You're not arguing about this and that. You're giving your all. And that's honestly all I want. I want to be with someone who's going to give me as much as they can on any given day. Some days that might be a little, some days that might be a lot, some days that might be too much. But you know, it be like that. And that's what I want to do. I know I'm a good woman. I'm a good catch. I'm a servant. I serve people all day, every day. That's what I do. And I love it. I love giving. I love serving. I love looking out for people. I love giving my time, my money, my effort, my kindness. I'd love to do that. But who is gonna love me, Lucas? Who gonna make me feel good? So, anyway, if I want someone to love me and make me feel good, I need to be in a position where I can receive it. That's all. Because I'm used to doing the pouring. So, now I'm learning to sit with Jesus and let him do all the things. And, you know, I'm just gonna be the adorable princess. I was going to be all 300 plus pounds of me because, yes, I'm bigger than you. And open the door, it's too heavy. I can't do it. Can you please carry this? It is too much. So yeah. Anyway, that's all. I just wanted to have this brief talk about femininity. I'm learning about it. What the Lord says about it. And I'm learning that God, you know, Jehovah, he's not gendered. He is the ultimate non-binary. He's not nothing. Okay? He's if and but and both. He said, I am that I am. And I believe femininity is an aspect of God that we are called to share with the world. And I want to be found sharing that. Okay? Anyway, that's all. We'll talk about this again, I'm sure. And thanks for watching my video. I think you're great. I'm going to share some of my pictures from Hawaii. I just don't feel like posting them yet because, like, it's so... I just had a great time. I've been having a great time looking at my own photos over and over. So I'll share some of them with you because you watched my YouTube video. And, you know, I honor you for that. You're a great person. Good job. Y'all pray for me. I'm preaching this month in my church. And, yeah, on the 18th. So, what else? I don't have any announcements. Awaken the Intercessors is this fall, and I'll be preaching at that. I'll be doing the VIP branch. So if you buy a ticket, make sure you buy a VIP ticket so you can come to the branch and, you know, hear what thus saith the Lord for the intercessors. Amen. That's all. I'm gonna go. Okay. Bye.